is the official start of hurricane season, with forecasters predicting at least 2 to 4 major storms.
Hurricane, the strongest ever on record in the Atlantic Ocean.
Tonight, Hurricane Irma tearing through the Caribbean, claiming at least 3 lives.
Major roads in Kingston completely flooded.
The Leeward Islands of the Caribbean are now being battered by this huge storm.
When the first disaster reached me, I saw and me lose me. When I come from work, the house was flat on the ground. People was just going away with me things there. So when disaster come like place like them, we lose a lot.
As we traversed through the first years of the BRACED project, we recognized that there was a central thing that we had not necessarily grappled with.
It is not something that is recognized worldwide right now, but we are bringing it to the forefront that there is a relationship between tenure security and resilience. We recognize that nobody knows the community more than community members themselves. And so if we're looking to regularize or formalize informal settlements in similar to areas like these, we should work along with community members in order to get it done.
You want to access community knowledge. The community can tell you the historical profile of the community that we're located in. They would have a good sense of the type of disasters that affect them. They would have a good grasp on reality in terms of the social aspects and social vulnerabilities, and also a good knowledge on how persons interplay with each other.
One of the greatest achievements I would say that the BRACED project has done in the community is building the capacity and awareness as it relates to resilience, disaster, risk, and risk management. They give us the know-how, the where how, and when how to get the job done.
Look at our history, learn from the communities, and then we can plan from there. Don't take it at you just come in and just be the white knight. You need to integrate the persons in the community that they come and help with whatever is going on with them. They are the ones who are living there.
When you live on capture land, there's a lot of liberty to take with you. Bulldozer can come in anytime and push on your house and nothing done about it. But when you have your own, have a piece of paper to show, you can do anything you want to do. You can build up your place, just like I have the fence here now. And maybe I would like to have concrete or have a better community.
As you know, land regularization is something we've struggled with globally, and it's also an issue that we've struggled with nationally. We've done various things over the years. Some things have worked, some things haven't worked as well. But what is really interesting about the BRACED project is that they're trying to address a problem that we haven't quite been able to meet, and that is the issue of cost, and also the length of time that it takes for people to get titles.
We had a series of workshops, and of those workshops, there were some things that were identified as crucial that needs to be a part of the discourse to help deal with regularization, deal with secure tenure, thus making the communities more resilient. And in our speaking to the community, persons are willing to get involved, but they know that if you price something too high, they can't even start. So we have to make it attractive. We have to make it affordable for them to get involved. And the Habitat Fast Track process that has been mapped out and that we're speaking to seeks to do just that. There are 2 main categories that the Habitat Fast Track process speaks to. One is involvement of new technology and a collaboration of information setting that can be handled at the community level. The other part of that is there needs to be a review of the acts and the provisions, the laws that currently govern this urbanization process.
What we are doing now in communities like Gregory Park is to work with not only community members but also with the government agencies and the different agencies involved in the land tenure regularization process to assist persons on the ground to increase the security of tenure.
The fast track process is very integrated. It would be a place where you can get information, and information in this time is very important.
Technology, we have identified the cost for doing, for example, land surveying is immense. However, with new technology of drone, we are able to gather the same kind of information at the same quality, the same depth as is required by the land surveyors. So we think that drone technology must become a feature in land regularization moving forward, and the earlier it is involved in the process, the better for the country as a whole.
As a supporting tool to the Habitat Fast Track process, we develop what is known as the Territorial Information Management System Platform, the TISMP. The TISMP is an open source GIS web-based platform that is used to host spatial data, and is also a land management tool to properly plan for and analyze communities and ensure that whatever we are doing, it is fitting and we can assess risks and also reduce the effect of hazards and increase resilience.
There are no laws that targets the urban informal sector directly. There are general laws, there are general provisions that covers the entire country, but not particular to this particular demographic. And we would like to support the articulation of a law that will target the urban informal sectors, regularization there, and that can be supported by a number of agencies. The agencies that we have been talking with, meeting with, they are also interested in doing something. We've also identified that there needs to be a correlation and an interaction between the levels. So we're talking about the community not being excluded, but being included in the discussions around how that development takes place.
When we are looking to regularize informal settlements, we have to consider the poor. And so whatever we are doing, we should ensure that it is the poor approach, that we don't impose the regularization process on communities and at the end they're not able to afford it. So we should seek to change policies, change acts and different regulations within our country so that persons are able to have proper access to security of tenure.
Having persons turn out has never been a problem for BRACED, for the BRACED project. We have the support of the communities, and once they hear Habitat or BRACED, they're willing to engage us.
I think they've taken the consultation and participation process closer to the people. So you have community members actually doing the documentation and that sort of thing. And I think it makes them own the process and really be involved in the process. And that's something that we could take on board.
Well, I think it's important for any organization really to really focus on young people, because they're not only innovative and progressively thinking, but also have a lot of energy, and it's their future that we're talking about when it comes to most social issues. So I think there's a great value in incorporating young people and actually giving them the opportunity to kind of create the future that they want to live in.
So we're also establishing the BRACED Youth Media Team so that they can learn how to do video editing, video capturing, and also proper picture capturing as well to do the social media campaigns and advertisements.
We've now created networks among ourselves. The hardest part about a development program has always been, how do you push the message out to more people? Well, now we have networks of people who have 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 Facebook friends. So those networks exist, and our ability to pass information out is so much greater than it used to be.
We have young people as a very high percentage of our community, and they relate to each other, and then they form groups, and within those groups they can influence each other.
Urbanization process has been taking place, and it's not common only to Jamaica. It's all over the globe that this is happening. More people are moving into the cities, looking for work, with all of the issues that countries are facing. Unless change happens, unless some different dynamic enters the picture, there will be urban spread and there will be no formality with it. And what we will have resulting is the crime that associates with these communities. It's the poor health and the increased vulnerabilities. So the cost of not doing anything is going to ultimately hurt the country much more than if they were to start dealing with it in a proactive manner. And we need to make a choice as to which we want. Do we pay the bill after, or do we pay the bill up front? I think the cost up front is much more beneficial to the community and to the government as a whole than waiting until after.
With the opposition, the government, and the municipality and the community all speaking the same language, the development of Jamaica could be advanced, must be advanced. The resilience of the people will be increased significantly. And what we will have happening is the next time one of the storms come through, or we have a terrific shake, what we will have are people who are more resilient because they have invested. They have invested in the places where they live.